I just spent the last 4 hours at Disney's California Adventure for Oogie Boogie's Halloween Bash. And let me tell you, I was skeptical. Could it be better at DCA than it is over at Disneyland? And the answer is, watch and find out.
And the scariest thing at Disneyland? A long line.
So unfortunately, the very first thing that you encounter is waiting in line for your wristbands. And if you have little ones with you, you might want to give them a heads up, but it takes a minute to get to the party. All the more reason to try to get there early so you don't have to wait in this long line that's kind of a buzzkill.
At 6 o'clock, it wasn't that bad. I think it maybe took me 10-15 minutes to get through. But with the sun still up, I didn't feel like I was missing out on too much.
I am early in line for the Redwood Challenge Trail Takeover. They can't open it up until the sun goes down, but I anticipate this being the busiest thing of the evening. Get in, get it early, so maybe I can do it twice. Only 15 people in front of me, but look at the line grow. Pays to have a plan.
Let's fire it up. Let's do this. Shout out to Five Fires. I love Disneyland specific costumes.
7:20 and it just opened up. Very excited that this is how I'm kicking off my Oogie Boogie Halloween Bash.
With a brand new offering, Villainous Grove, taking over the Redwood Trail. It's only available during Oogie Boogie's Bash. It starts every night at 7:20 when the sun goes down. You can walk the trail at your own pace, stop, take photos when you want, or keep moving forward. It's yours to explore at the pace and style in which gives you the most Halloween fun. It's very abstract and artistic.
It's just an experiential walkthrough, light projections, amazing soundtrack.
The Cheshire Cat. But is it? Because it can always vanish into pixie dust, but yet reform when needs to. Villainous Grove pulls you in every direction with even projections on the ground. As you can see, just the entire Redwood Trail has been taking over for this experience.
This is so great. It's amazing. The light design, the sound design.
A forest, a maze of lit up flowers that in a moment's notice can go from blood red to bright white. Look at this forest. The way that the villains just keep forming and dissolving, such an interesting take on making this walkthrough experience. I want my backyard to look like this. Standing up on one of the bridges, you get an idea of the scope, that everything around you is perfectly lit and the music just blends seamlessly from land to land.
This is very cool. Very fun to walk through.
Stepped inside this cave to get that view of the outside world. Santa? Santa, is that you? We all know what happens when two holidays collide. It's not always the best scenario.
Run away and never return.
It's amazing to walk through here and feel the music and the lights all around you. This is great.
Walking up the different stairs and bridges kind of acts as a break between scenes. I found this forest to be completely intriguing on the way that they set the tone of a rainstorm into a thunderstorm. Voices softly blended in to add that extra layer of Disney storytelling. But in true Disney fashion, they gave you that emotional send-off at the end, starting with this lit up forest, which felt like magic or pixie dust. And then the projections on the fallen over tree, showing something growing on what is perceived to be dead. I don't know what you believe in the afterlife, but this final scene, is it Disney heaven? Is this the tunnel of light? I just stood here for a moment going, do I want to give up on the real world? Am I ready to go into the Disney light? And the answer is yes. One day, when I'm no longer ready for this world, I hope this is what it's like. Walking into Disney heaven. I'm not gonna lie, with that soundtrack, very emotional. Tears are in my eyes right now. And I had to congratulate the cast members.
Job well done. Job well done.
Absolutely fantastic.
Look, I'm not going to say that everybody will like that, but for me, it was unbelievable. So emotional at the end, the way that the music was, watching all the people in their costumes go out. Like, it's an art piece. That's what it is. If you're looking for a ride or a thrill or seeing characters, maybe it's not for you, but for me, it was an art piece. It's what Disney does great. So that right there, 10 magics on the 10 magic scale.
My plan was to line up while the sun was still up because you need darkness to have Halloween. I think that's a pretty good pro tip because this line lasted all night, stretching all the way back to the end of Grizzly Peaks. I'm not really a candy guy, so I didn't participate in the treat trails, but I did document all the locations to give you a heads up on how to maximize your time. This one is next to Soarin' Around the World, and the previous one was next to Grizzly River Run. As an added bonus, there was characters in the streets, but also at the end of the treat trails. And this is just a guess in an amazing costume. If meeting characters is your idea of Disney magic, it is loaded up with characters everywhere for you to meet. I was excited to see the new projections added to the Carthay Circle. And it seems as if every 15 minutes, there was a themed show that would take over the front facade, much like what happens at It's a Small World during the holiday season. This was, in my opinion, the best of the projection shows. I love the idea of projecting over onto the building its actual decay. And if you're waiting to watch the fireworks and you have little ones with you, standing here for 15 minutes is enjoyable because if anything else, you can kind of pay attention to the show that's happening on the front of Carthay Circle. I also did enjoy the fact that Snow White and Dopey were standing over by the fountain because the real version of this building is where their film premiered in Los Angeles back in February of 1944. When those lights turn to orange, it looks like a lighthouse for a moment. And now there's the growth that's taking over the front facade. The projected crows. It just gives all the vibes when you're standing there hearing this and the sound design that's surrounding you. And then the gas taking it back to the Oogie Boogie party logo. Before the parade comes, you get Ichabod Crane and my absolute favorite way to kick off the holiday season, when the Headless Horseman rides through.
The Headless Horseman starting off the parade. It's one of my favorite Halloween traditions. I love it.
Here's another one of the projections. This one I didn't care for too much, but I want to give you a heads up. When the Headless Horseman comes through, you still have a solid 5 minutes or so till parade time. So don't walk away like many people did thinking that that was the entire parade, because there's plenty of more to follow.
Get ready to start.
You gotta start the party off with Mickey and Minnie in Halloween costumes, dancing with some of their best buds. Then we move over to Nightmare Before Christmas. I stood here to get Carthay Circle in the background, but this bend in the road, everything kind of goes by you faster than it does when you're on one of the straightaways, and you don't have dedicated spotlights because they're trying to keep the road dark to keep the building illuminated. So maybe not the best spot to stand if you want to get photographs or a little bit more time with the different floats. This, to me, is my absolute highlight. Love the dancers. The parade only happens once each night. 8:15 is the start time, and it starts on the far side of the park at the Pixar Pier entrance. So plan accordingly, because it happens at 8:15. You get one shot, and the closer you are to the start, the sooner you're going to see the parade. And hey, you've only got a 5-hour window. You got to maximize every screen. Oh, the grave diggers. I didn't see as many sparks from them this year as I have in the past. But once again, being in that corner, everything kind of just goes by fast because they perform best on these straightaways. Ursula kicked off the grand finale, which is just as many villains as they could pump through. If you like bad guys, this is your event. And then the grand finale is this larger, long float that just has lots of different villains all down the length of it. There's my favorite. And just like that, that is the parade. 8:15 every night. Starts by Pixar Pier, ends over by Guardians. find your spot, get there early, and after the parade, just back into the Disney chaos like it never happened. The Headless Horseman statue is the absolute best decoration that they put in DCA. You can see it in that little garden in front of the shops. When it goes away, they replace it with a giant Christmas tree. Let's work our way down the street because I want to meet up with my best Halloween friend. One of the things I liked about this being over in Disneyland is it made Disneyland feel a lot emptier. California Adventure felt pretty full, still breathable, and you could get on things pretty quickly, but it felt pretty full.
Look at this stupid item that I just bought. It's a mummy donut. It feels like a brick. Gonna regret this. Happy Halloween! Added some Ray-Bans for scale. I kind of have gotten attached to my mummy donut. I feel bad eating him, but it looks like peanut butter and jelly inside the mummy. Sorry, little buddy. It's so thick. On my jeans. Peanut butter and jelly. Poor little mummy. Aww. I feel so bad because he was so happy. It says donut, but it's very bready. It's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's what it really is. Ignore health reasons. I just feel bad eating mummy. But if I start at the bottom, it'll all fall out. Oh. I can't do it. I can't. Use my bud. Maybe out on the side. There we go. Oh, mommy. I feel so bad eating you, mommy. Mommy. Seriously? He's just so cute that this is where I stop. I love you, Mummy. I can't finish it. I can't do it. My Halloween bud. We had such a great time, Mummy. I can't eat you. Do you want me to eat you? Okay, Mommy, I won't. One last bite, Mommy, in your Halloween chest. Oh no, Mommy. Bye, Mommy. Happy Halloween. I already miss him. He was my Halloween friend. He was my only friend. Oh, so lonely without Mummy. So lonely.
At the end of Hollywoodland, they had the treat trail behind Frozen, the area where you would normally wait in line to get into the show. And then as an added bonus, they have Monsters After Dark, the Guardians of the Galaxy takeover. Descend Dance takes place in the back lot, and it's an audience interactive dance party. Probably great for kids that really love Disney Channel. He almost fell. The show happens several times in the evening, and this would be great for, middle school, elementary school age child. They do a good job of teaching everyone in the audience the dance that they're going to do and tying it all up with some storytelling based off of the Descendants, I believe. And if you need to split up the fam, some of you can watch Descend Dance, and then the others can go to the treat trail that's behind where the Monsters, Inc. attraction is. And if you have really young ones, you can take them over to this cute little show called Mickey's Trick and Treat. As you can see, families sit on the ground. You're encouraged to get up and dance around. Full with characters that you love and repetitive songs that you will not forget. Different cameos come in throughout the show. It felt slightly creepy being in here by myself when it's so kid oriented, but I do it for the channel. I do it for the views. So smash like for me putting myself in a creepy situation.
We're in
Classic Goofy. Working our way over to Cars Land, I saw this guy hanging out next to the fountain there, which on the other side is Grizzly River Run. Happy Halloween from Cars Land. This is the big layover for the holiday that they do, both Halloween and then again for Christmas time. Bold Move playing MJ in 2019. You can see the decorations over the top of the street. And they really do a good job of going over all of Cars Land and working in Halloween theming wherever they can fit it in. The cars in their Halloween costumes is just perfect. All the cozy cones with their menacing faces. And then this guy. Look at that. Insert a Dracula. This kid was in the spirit. Look at those poses. Imagine having that pick. Then over it flows the spider and the cobwebs made out of chains. Fantastic. These trees, the shop, just everything over here looks so good for Halloween. And you want to talk about scary gas prices, huh? How about the cost of your soul to fill up your tank? I would do it if it meant that I could drive to Disneyland. Sweet deal. Out front of Luigi's, we see this totem pole of Halloween decorated tires that will get switched over to a Christmas tree. And then at the end of the road, you see the town hall of Radiator Springs. I love that wreath. The lights, the cones as teeth. Look at that with the jumper cables on it. So good.
Here's how dedicated they are to Halloween. These telephone poles are here all year long. But for the holidays, they add these telephone poles all the way down the street to put Christmas lights and Halloween decorations over the top of the street. Only there for the holidays.
Luigi's Honkin' Halloween. It's a light layover. They changed the flags up top from Italian colors to Halloween colors. And they play the song that gets stuck in your head. Honkin' Halloween.
Everybody wants to have a honkin' Halloween.
And the grand finale when they dance. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin Halloween. See, I told you it gets stuck in your head. Love the Sugar Skull car across the street. And then as we work our way out the backside of Radiator Springs, you can see that they have all the Halloween lighting on the ridge. This one still stays orange, but I like to think of it as a pumpkin in the middle of this Halloween vignette. And there's a treat trail back there. Now on the far side of the wharf to pay tribute to the Zephyrs. Some might say the best ride in the park, and I wouldn't argue it.
Last event of the night, waiting for Villainous. I love watercolor, one of my favorite things. The Christmas version is fantastic. Will this live up to my expectations? High expectations.
I filmed the entire show. I'm going to give you guys some of the highlights of the special effects so that you can catch the vibe of Villainous, the Halloween World of Color show that happens twice each night. This one starts at 10:45, which it runs 20 minutes and takes you into the close. That projected moon is a sweet touch.
Well, what have we here? So you've all come to my story time. Looks like you've hit the jackpot. I've got a story filled with tricks and treats that'll send chills all the way down to your feet.
Mickey Mouse Disco Ball. Pretty great. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty great. I could go for that all the time.
I'm Mr. Oogie Boogie, and you ain't going nowhere. Sweet dreams.
I like the pumpkin too, going over Mickey's face. That's great. But, Villainous. How do I say, Villainous?
I'm going to go ahead and say Villainous is the worst show I've ever seen in the world of Color Lagoon. It just was boring and disconnected. My only complaint tonight. Only complaint. Everything else has been fantastic. But that, not for me. Well, it's 11 o'clock and Oogie Boogie's Bash has come to an end. The first year of Halloween private parties being at DCA, and I have to say, I like it better than Disneyland. Didn't know that I would like the event so much in DCA, but DCA just has the room, the treat trails seem real evenly spaced out. I think DCA is the perfect home for this, and I'll be back next year.
The Halloween party is a quick 4 hours once the sun sets. It is a great way to get on attractions without long lines. If you're coming in from out of town and you can only do one night of California Adventure, I'd say this is the best night to get it all in.
I don't know, I'm getting so sad that it feels like Halloween's over because it's only the middle of September. There's a lot more Halloween to be had, but what a great start. Thank you so much for following along with me, for taking this Halloween adventure. Until the next time, live the magic every day. Good night. I don't want it to be over. I hate when it's over. I need more magic. Disneyland's closed. Back to Long Beach. Be our guest, be our guest. Wanna go back. I wish I had a candy sack. I miss Mommy already. Can't believe I ate my best friend. But I did it. I ate my best friend in the spirit of Halloween.